another video. Surprise! What's up, guys? This video is things I wish I knew before I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I got a couple people to help explain their topics, and you'll see what I think at the end. If you guys have any questions on the topics, or if you guys think that we missed anything, go and let me know in the comment section down below. What's up, guys? I'm joined here by Travis Smith. He's a top 8 world's competitor and owner of card and board games. This is my locals. It's insane. I've pulled 3 ultis so far.
I don't know how this guy's pulls. I feel bad for all the clients because he pulls all the ultis, and I shuffle the packs. I don't know what it is. This guy's magical, but
all right. So, what is one thing you wish you knew before you started playing card games?
Before I started playing card games, I wish I knew what the real value of what card games were meant to be. When I got into card games, unfortunately, it was in a highly competitive atmosphere, and I wish I took time to actually understand what card games really meant. Not just winning packs, winning store credit. It means like friendship. It means having fun. All these values that sometimes you forget because you're so focused on trying to win. And trying to get prizes, and you get jaded by that sometimes. And yes, competition is fun, and sometimes when you're grinding a tournament or you're grinding your play testing, it is fun. But sometimes you cannot forget those core values, because sometimes those are the things that carry you to becoming better. For example, I look up to Jeff Jones. I used to look up to Billy Brake, because he was probably the best player to ever live. But what Jeff Jones did is, like, number one, he's a very clean player. The way he plays is very elegant. He never makes any mistakes from what I see. He plays creative decks that, when you really think about it and you sit back, you're like, man, this guy really took the time to use a deck that no one else thought of, just because it doesn't have the face value of like something so simple. For example, like instead of Fire Fist, he played Harpies and stuff like that. Sometimes we get jaded and we just look at things for face value, and we don't tend to be creative. We don't tend to think about our friends and fun. So I wish, looking back, I could have just came into the game with a different mindset instead of just kind of fiending like I was fiending a lot. I'm gonna be very honest, and I apologize for whoever I fiended, or the fiending that it came off, because it's just the atmosphere, and the locals I grew up in as well. The owners weren't as strict as owners are nowadays. Konami, it was owned by Upper Deck, I believe, totally different atmosphere. But Konami now, like, I think Konami does a great job of getting young people into the game. They do an amazing job of marketing. To be honest, I was selling a lot of Pokemon in my store, but now Konami's pushing such good marketing that I'm selling so much Yu-Gi-Oh that I can't keep up, to be honest. So yeah, just a little bit of things,
Okay, cool.
A little bit of my opinions.
All right, thank you.
What's going on, guys? Loganjy here, and shout out to my boy Pelican for having me on to talk about one thing I wish I knew before I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I went back and forth on this a lot. I didn't know exactly what to say, whether it be how expensive the game is going to be, or to just play smarter, or to not do it at all. Regardless, I've been playing this game for coming up on 9 years now in a semi-competitive way since I was like 12, 13 years old. I guess that's longer than 9 years now. Dang, we're up to 10. Anyway, in all seriousness, the thing that I want to tell my old self is to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And I'm more so talking about the cards to keep, because there's old cards that I look at my past self owning, and I'm like, man, if you held that for a couple more years, you could have made a buttload of money. Unfortunately, though, the needs of the immediate outweigh the needs of the future, and I did not have that big investor brain on at the time. But now I feel like I've become wiser when it comes to card prices, and knowing when to hold cards so they achieve maximum value and then move them, and knowing which ones are not worth holding. So that's one big thing. Decks that I owned that ended up getting hit, investment cards that I foolishly moved. All I know is that if I held that Ghost Rare Black Rose, I wouldn't have had to pay double the price. A little bit further down the line. But anyway, thanks so much for having me on, Pillow King. Loganjy signing off. Have a great day.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ben 2000 Yugioh, and I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero. So, I'm here answering a question from the Pillow King, and he wanted to know, what is something that I wish I knew before starting Yu-Gi-Oh? And I think since I'm actually one of the OGs. I've played Yu-Gi-Oh for a very long time, like pretty much since it started, like back in LOB and the first starter decks. I think the big thing I would learn is budgeting. That's a big thing. You want to know what deck do you want to play, how much is it going to cost, what are all the decks that you're interested in, do your homework is a big thing that I think I wish I had learned in the early days, because a lot of times I just picked a card because I thought it looked cool. So, so if you're a new Yu-Gi-Oh player and you're looking for a good tip, do your homework. That's a good one. Research.
What's up, guys? Pelican here. I'm joined by, what's your name?
Brendan Outlaw.
All right, Brandon Outlaw. What is one thing you wish you knew before you started playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
I wish I knew how important it was to have a community. Honestly, having a solid community, especially around like a locals, it's going to be the difference maker between enjoying the game, not enjoying the game, or like how you develop as a player. My locals here in Florida, it completely changed the way that I played the game. I went from some casual kid who was spending $20 on decks to some pseudo professional guy who's spending $20 on decks but playing at a higher level. But yeah, I love my group here. I love my group up in Ohio, and find a community. That's the most important part.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Hey guys, so after you guys saw all that, I guess you can kind of understand the point of the video. It was really just to try to help people. I did want to go ahead and go through what I thought were important things. One, pay attention when your opponent is playing. That's a big thing that people really forget to do, because a lot of time they'll be playing against, like, let's just say Drytron. They open full combo. Let them full combo you. Like your game one, you don't open hand traps. See when the weak points are, especially if you're not too familiar with the deck. Let your opponent play so you can understand what his deck does. So maybe you know when to Ash. Maybe you want to hit the Ben 10, or you want to hit the Alpha, things like that. So that's a big thing that I really like to talk about, because a lot of people don't pay attention to that, unfortunately. You just get duggied on games one, so you're like, fuck it, well, okay, we'll go first and win. That doesn't happen a lot. I always tell people, I always make my opponent show me what they're going to do to me. This way I can at least know what's going on, and that way I can think of ways to beat it, even if it's just game two, things like that. Looking up card values is another one, a big one that I really need people to understand. I've had this Maxi for literal years. Gift from my friend Willie, one of my favorite gifts ever. I'm never getting rid of it. Even if I'm out in the street broke, I'm hungry, I don't care. But yeah, looking up card values is an important thing, because a lot of people really don't care about other Yu-Gi-Oh players. They don't mind coming in, savaging a new player, taking all their good stuff and leaving it at that. They call it a lesson. At the end of the day, I would really prefer, people know their values. That way everyone gets equal trades, everyone's happy. That's just something that I wish I knew when I was younger. Yeah, and lastly, really just taking the time to play test. This is a hobby, but you also want to take a time out for your hobby, and play testing will help you succeed. A lot of the things that happens is people don't play test, they don't understand how their deck goes, and then they get upset, get frustrated, and ultimately it leads to quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! And I really hate to see that. When I say play test, I mean like actual play testing. Go in Dueling Book, do a couple rated games, a couple times a week. Play against your friends after the tournament, see what's going on with them. That's a big one that I really do advocate for, because playtesting really helps you. It helps you understand more card interaction. That's why I can play a lot of these decks so effortlessly, because I know how they work and I've tested them before, or I've just played against them so many times that I could be like, okay, well, this is the play. Sorry if I look fucking rough. It's been a day. I've been sleeping over there for like way too long, but yeah. That's about it. If you guys have any other things you wish people would like to know before they start playing Yu-Gi-Oh, go ahead and let them know in the comments down below. Yeah, and if you guys like this video and want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and let me know. This was something that I really wanted to make on a larger scale, have a lot more people. It's just with conflicting schedules and things like that, it was a little hard to get people involved, but thank you to everyone who did help me. I'm going to have their social medias, like their YouTubes and any other things that they have, down in the description below. So if you guys want to go and check it out, if you're not subscribed to them, go ahead and subscribe. Take it easy.